Mr. Sato, it seems there's been a mistake at the construction site you were in charge of. I'm sorry, but I have no choice but to report this to the president. You acted contrary to my instructions after all. No, I don't think we should tell the president.
What happened? Is it a major problem?
Are you okay? Sorry to keep you waiting. You've done well, Mr. Keiichi.
Good job. How about this one?
I think Yui would look good in anything she wears. I agree, but the white one isn't bad either. Indeed, it's hard to decide. I'm torn. Oh? What's that? Excuse me, it's a call from the department head. I wonder what it's about at this hour. Hello, this is Sato. Mr. Sato, it seems there's been a mistake at the construction site you were in charge of. It looks like the error occurred in a section that proceeded based on your instructions. Is it regarding the S plan? Yes. I had told you to go with the B plan, hadn't I? I'm sorry, but I have no choice but to report this to the president. You acted contrary to my instructions after all. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. No, I don't think we should tell the president.
What happened? Is it a major problem?
Are you okay? No. Huh? Was that voice just now? Miss Yui is nearby? Yes. The president is here with me as well. What? Why are you two together? Is that you, Mr. Yokomine? Yes, that's correct. Did something happen? Yes, it seems I made a significant mistake at the construction site. It's the S plan that I proceeded with based on your father's instructions. I see. I'm sorry, but please hand me the phone. Understood. Hello, it's me. Mr. President, I'm sorry to bother you when you're busy. It's quite difficult to say, but it seems that Mr. Sato made a mistake based on his own judgment, and there has been damage at the site. I see. However, that wasn't solely Mr. Sato's independent decision. What do you mean? Actually, that instruction was one that I directly requested from him. I apologize for the trouble, but I thought I had communicated that to you. Oh? Did I? Yes, I mentioned that proceeding with the S plan was the president's suggestion. Did you perhaps seem to brush off what I conveyed at the time? Were you so preoccupied with Mr. Sato's mistake that you forgot? No, that's not true. Right? Well, I'll handle it from here. Excuse me. No, but you really okay with that? Of course. Leave the follow-up to me. Got it. I'm counting on you, Yokomine. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato. It seems he tends to take things outside of his mistakes heavily and insists on them. No, I'm fully aware of that aspect. For now, let's forget about work and enjoy Yui's dress. Agreed. 3 days later. Mr. Sato, do you have a moment? Yes. What is it, Mr. Yokomine? Well, it seems that the recent mistake was due to actions that deviated from the manual I created. Yes, you're right. This instruction was indeed outside the manual. I see. I don't know why this happened, but please assure that you follow the manual from now on. Otherwise, the site will become chaotic. May I say something, Mr. Yokomine? What is it, Mr. Sato? Regarding the instructions for this site, I found that following the manual would be inefficient and would lead to significant delays in work. That's why I took that approach. sometimes manuals can be a hindrance at the site. As I checked the report regarding the mistake, I didn't find any relationship with the deviation from the manual. I don't understand. Why not? I believe that by holding multiple meetings and making direct decisions to decide on a policy, everyone can be informed, and mistakes can be avoided.
I'll explain that matter.
Miss Yui?
Please stop using that term at the company.
I apologize.
Now, regarding the matter at hand, for a site with a short work period like this one, a prompt response is required.
Yes, that's why the manual...
According to the manual, we would need to hold meetings and gather people multiple times. However, with the scale of this project, gathering people each time would take at least a week. So, Mr. Sato handled it with online meetings and PDF documents.
With the online meetings, discussions can take place quickly anywhere, and detailed information in PDF format can be checked on smartphones as well.
Additionally, since the participants create their own time for the online meetings, the confirmation and discussion periods were reduced by about half.
While it's certainly appealing to shorten the time frame, I believe that working face-to-face allows the team to unite and perform their tasks effectively. Honestly, a focus solely on efficiency leaves me with concerns. No, but... Good work. It seems like there's a disagreement here. Actually, it's that Mr. Sato made a judgment call disregarding the manual, which led to a lack of proper prior communication to the site and resulted in discrepancies. What wasn't it explained? That this isn't solely Mr. Sato's responsibility? Do you also believe that, President? The actual cause of this mistake was due to the site leader being careless in explaining the materials. If that hadn't happened, the work would have progressed smoothly. So blaming Mr. Sato for this is misguided. No, with all due respect, if we had conducted meetings thoroughly according to the manual and shared necessary information with everyone, this wouldn't have occurred. If the work were to be carried out only by the company's members, that would indeed be the most reliable approach. However, in this case, another company involved in the project also participates in the site work. Since their members do not attend the meetings, I believe that even if we followed the manual, this situation would have occurred regardless.
While perhaps the issue might not have happened, if we hadn't shortened the process, it seems fundamentally misguided to place the entire responsibility on Mr. Sato.
Yes, I agree with what the president said. However, my concern lies with maintaining order within the company. What do you mean by order within the company? Well, actually, Mr. Sato, not only is he ignoring the manual, but he also isn't following my instructions. Of course, I think it's wrong to tie him up or anything, so I initially kept quiet and observed. So, are you saying that Mr. Sato is disrupting the company's order and discipline? Yes. To put it simply, I apologize for bringing my personal feelings into this, but honestly, I feel a sense of crisis about the current situation, and I'm dissatisfied that it continues. I see. You're right. If he's disregarding instructions from his superiors, that's certainly a problem. But what's the actual situation, Mr. Sato? No, I always check with General Manager Yokomine each time. However, he tells me it's up to you to decide. So I'm just responding accordingly to his guidance. Is that really the case?
Yes, I've actually spoken with other employees. And most of them said that Mr. Sato is faithfully following Mr. Yokomine's instructions.
Mr. Yokomine, if what they're saying is true, it seems there are quite a few discrepancies. Could you explain?
It is true that I've told them to handle things based on their own judgment. However, that means Mr. Sato is operating outside my area of responsibility and taking responsibility for his own actions. If mistakes arise from that, they shouldn't fall on Mr. Sato, right? That's the nature of being a site manager.
Well, if that's the case, why not gently point out issues before mistakes happen?
No, people learn through making mistakes. More importantly, these matters fall outside my jurisdiction. I'm sorry, but I have no intention of changing my stance, no matter what you say.
That may be true, but if we think like that, it seems we won't be able to build bonds between people. When something happens, we won't be able to unite and tackle the issue together.
With all due respect, bringing such emotions or kindness into the workplace can loosen the atmosphere and potentially lead to significant mistakes or accidents. Therefore, I believe it's better to continue as we have been.
I understand your perspective, but there are limits. Human kindness is crucial for building trust, don't you think? In reality, Mr. Sato not only advises junior employees, but also consistently communicates and provides feedback to our partners to prevent mistakes from happening. While mistakes do occur, I would like you to acknowledge that he is making efforts to minimize them.
No, that's not correct. In the field, experience is paramount. In other words, if you follow my instructions, mistakes will naturally be eliminated.
Then let's try doing things your way just once, Mr. Yokomine. As it happens, the site you are in charge of starts the day after tomorrow.
Thank you for your understanding, President. Thus, under the direction of General Manager Yokomine, the site work began. Why aren't you placing the materials in the designated location? The manual clearly states that you should place the materials in the designated spot and then take them as needed. I understand that, but that would be redundant. I'm sorry, but can you please follow the rules? If the materials get mixed up for any reason, it could become a serious issue. I'm sorry. Understood.
Hey! It seems like the workers on site are being warned a lot.
In a situation like this, where the working period is short, it could lead to significant delays. They probably understand that, which is why they're trying to work efficiently, ignoring the manual.
That means if we proceed at the pace dictated by the manual, we might...
Yeah, it's almost certain that we'd end up behind schedule. But all we can do is hope, right?
Still, leaving things as they are feels a bit guilty. The workers will bear the responsibility. And I don't want to inconvenience the client either. But I've left it all to Mr. Yokomine.
Mr. Yokomine? May I have a moment? What is it, Mr. Sato? Actually, I have a suggestion. A suggestion? Go ahead. Right now, it seems unlikely that we can meet the completion deadline. I believe it would be more efficient for each person to manage materials separately in their designated areas, which would shorten transportation time and ease the burden on the workers. Oh dear, not again. Are you planning to ignore my orders once more? I have no intention of doing that. I already know that without needing to be told. Trust me and wait without worry. Yes, I apologize for overstepping. And then, 5 months later. Why are we a month behind schedule on completion? Everyone, thank you for your hard work. Although we managed to complete it, we are a month late. And I apologize to our clients for the inconvenience. Do you know why it was delayed? I believe it's because you all did not follow the manual properly.
No, we followed the manual.
Indeed, there's nothing wrong with the manual. I think the issue lies with your commitment to following it. Mr. Yokomine? What is it, Mr. Sato? Actually, I've been handling another project simultaneously which had a similar scale and completion deadline. Is that so? What does that imply? In that project, we used a method where each person managed their materials separately in their designated areas. In other words, we adhered to the manual, but adapted our approach. As a result, we completed the project in about 2 months instead of the 4-month timeline, significantly reducing the burden on the workers. What do you think about that? That's dependent on the workers' adherence to the manual. No, it was a different company, but the industry standards are the same. Both my project and yours had employees evaluate the adherence to the manual, and the reports show no difference. So the employees' evaluations were mistaken then.
Mr. Yokomine, may I speak frankly? Why don't you investigate whether the manual is flawed? And why do you suspect people before explaining that you conducted such an investigation? The manual doesn't have emotions, but people do. Can't you be more careful with your words?
Ultimately, shouldn't you have advised us sooner?
No. Mr. Sato has made proper suggestions. I have evidence of the recorded proposals here.
I see. Indeed, suggestions were made.
So, will you still proceed with the manual?
However, on-site management heavily relies on experience. As I gain more experience and gather a team that follows my lead, I can achieve the same results as you, Mr. Sato.
Is that so? Mr. Sato constantly observes the site, communicates with the workers, and experiments with different methods to ease the burden on employees. On the other hand, I think your approach has been focused more on issuing warnings rather than communication. I don't believe that can change overnight.
I see. That's new to me.
So please show a little more respect for those who are putting in the effort. While Mr. Yokomine's methods are indeed solid, recognizing each other can lead us to take new steps together.
But...
Wait a minute. Isn't something off here?
What's off?
Look at this.
This is... It doesn't meet the building standards. If a larger earthquake were to occur... But how did this happen?
This part is under your sole jurisdiction, and I, as a site leader, am not overseeing it. So, you're saying this is entirely your responsibility?
This mistake happened because you took charge of everything?
I have no excuses. This is bad. I can't seem to utilize my talents here. I feel sorry for the president, but I should quit the company.
After that, Mr. Yokomine resigned from the construction company, Tokimeki Group.
It's been 3 months since then. This should be perfect now. This time for sure.
This is difficult to say, but...
What is it?
I'm following the procedures, but it's clearly way too inefficient. Can't we improve this somehow?
No, it's not the manual's fault. It's an issue with on-site management. Can we just encourage everyone? Why? The inefficiency has caused major clients to stop coming. At this rate...
After that, I was promoted to assistant director.
Here are the site documents for the project, Mr. Sato.
Thank you. That helps a lot. Yui, I can't imagine my life without you.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll make you happy. I promise. Thank you for watching until the end.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.